Hi everyone, welcome back to this video for the Canva template for beginners series. So in this video I'm going to be showing you two options that you have within Canva for turning your template into a print file. Basically we are going to be looking at how to export PDF with crop marks and a print bleed, and then two, we'll also look at the option within Canva to print a leaflet as it is through them themselves. So when it comes to making sure your document is set up properly, obviously we turn on the print bleed before we work with the document, and we turn on the margins, and for good practice sake we put on the rulers and guides as well. So what this does is it shows you the entirety of the page beyond the area where it gets cut at point of print. So basically the bleed area, which is this outside perforated line just inside of the outer edge of the actual end of the canvas, this is your print bleed mark, and this is where the printer cuts the document after it's been printed. So anything beyond this perforated line towards the outside edge of the canvas, which is now highlighted in purple with a purple outline, is going to be cut away from the document after it's been printed by a professional printer. So you need to ensure that any solid background colours and any images that go beyond this line, this perforated line, the trim area, the bleed area, go just beyond the outside edge of the canvas. So you might need to zoom in. So again, we have this control here, which I showed you in the previous video, to zoom in and zoom out at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And because now that I've turned the print bleed on, you can see right to the edge of the document. However, if you have images and colours that need to go beyond the page to ensure that they show and that there's no white marks or gaps that break the colour or break the image during the print process, then we need to make sure that we zoom quite closely in. So I'm going to go further in, as far in as I think we need to just be certain that these images do definitely go, and these colours go beyond this line here. So you can see this purple bounding box around this object that I've selected, and what that means, the fact that it's gone beyond the edge of the actual file's design is enough for me to know that that is actually as it should be for printing purposes. And then with regards to this image, again, it is just beyond, and there is no white line. If you look closely enough, you can see there's no break, no break in the image there. And again, you do the same on the other side, the left hand side of the document, and you can see again it's slightly beyond. And if you just make sure that, so that's not selected right now, but if we come off of it and just look to the side, you can see that there is no white trim or white break here on the side. So you could pull it out a little bit more if you like, but you would need to do that in proportion to all of the other images, just to be on the safe side. So I'll show you how to do that. If you're going to resize or reposition any images, the best thing to do is to select all of them and slightly increase them away from the page, so that they all move and resize within proportion to each other, because otherwise you can end up with different sized images and incoherent kind of positioning. So I'll just zoom back out. As far as I can see, everything is looking good. Again, this bounding box is showing me that it's gone beyond the page edge. So I'm just going to scroll out, zoom out. And what I'm going to show you just quickly, because even though that is outside, I'm just going to show you what to do if you're not sure. So if you select everything by clicking on the left hand cursor all the way down to the right hand side, dragging and then letting go, it will select everything on the page. As long as you've gone from the outside of the canvas here to the far side of the canvas, the opposite side there, you've selected all of these items. Again, always remembering that the safe zone margins are there to help keep you within the print boundaries, and as is the bleed line for the print bleed there. So all you need to do is see the handle is now highlighted. I'm just going to pull it out slightly, just to ensure that this bounding box has gone a little bit more beyond here. And again, we'll do the same here, and I'm going to pull it in the opposite direction from here to try and ensure that it stays balanced in terms of its symmetry, just a tiny bit. And again, now you can see it's way beyond now the line, just even at this scale. And what I do want to do now is reselect everything and align it to the page. So because every item is now selected, I'm just going to left click, hold down, and I want to centralise everything to the page. So I'm just going to make sure everything is symmetrical. So we can see now with the guides being on that the images, everything that's on the page is now centred on the page in terms of the horizontal, but we want to do the same with the vertical. And there we go, that's the vertical alignment right there. I am going to bring it up slightly just because I don't want the website name down too far, and I can see that the name of the company can go slightly higher on the page in a position where it's still safe. So I'm just going to move it up in line with the margin. So remembering that the margin itself is this safe zone area here that's got this perforated line, the second perforated line from the outside edge. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And now that I feel that this document is ready for printing, I'm going to click this share button. And when I click the share button, you're presented with various options. I'm going to choose the download option. And then here in this file type box, there are various drop down options. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to export the document as a PDF for print purposes. It's quite straightforward. You go here to the PDF print. And when we say for print purposes, we are doing this for a professional printer who will require, normally, check with whoever you've chosen, whether or not they require this, crop marks and bleed. And then we can click download. And then your document will download. You can see it doing it there on the right hand side, but here you can see it's downloaded. Now if I click that, it's going to open up as a file here. I can either download it here if I want to use it. I'm happy with that. You can download it, or if I want to, I can go to my File Explorer options, click the Downloads folder, and there it is right there. So if I wanted this document with the crop marks, you can see that they're there, and the bleed actually gives a little gap off the side of your document. This is basically the line from here to here, and from here to here is where the printer will cut to make sure your document is as it should be. So that's what they are for. So that those little white lines that are on the outside edge now will be gone, as will the ones on the top, which you can't actually see. So now I'm going to just rename this to something more suitable. We're going to call this one for print PDFs. and you can save it to wherever you like on your desktop. So you can cut it by right clicking and cutting, or you can select it and say Control X, escape there, Control X once it's selected, and then you can move it and paste it to wherever you want it, or open the folder that you want it to go in and paste it. So that would be your file for print purposes outside of Canva. So if you have a professional printer that you would like to use, then that's how you do it. And then I'm just going to minimize this and to exit this. I'm going to show you an alternative option now. So if you go to share again and you go print your design down here, so Canva offer printing services, and if you go to the very bottom of this, there will be an option that says Flyers Landscape. There's also a Flyers Portrait, but this is landscape orientation, so it's important to bear that in mind. And that will give you two options with print, either A5 or A4. Now all of our templates are set up as A5. Just to let you know, if you want to know a file size exactly, you will find the dimensions here in the file section. Also you can use your turned on rulers and guides to get a rough idea of the size of the page, because the zero line lines up with the area where it will be cropped here. This is the outside edge where the trim mark is, this perforated line here, for the bleed. This is actually where it gets cut, so this is the starting point of your document, 0. If you can see, it lines up, and the same here on this section, 0. That wasn't a very straight line. 0, and then to here again is to this point, and then to here again it's to this point. So you get a rough idea of the size of the document, and then again we'll just go back, share, print your design. You can type in flyer and it will give you the flyer options. These will be for A4 and A5 print, and the document does get automatically resized. You don't have to mess around with dimensions. And also there is an A6 option for printing. If you type postcards, you can do thicker card print, and it will be A6 size, which is half of A5 again. So let's just say we'll stick with the size that it is. Like I said, you can scroll all the way to the bottom. So it's Flyers Landscape. You only have one page, this is a single-sided document, so you would choose front one page. If you wanted to, you could repeat the image on the back, like that. You would just basically choose page 1 and page 1 again, so that you end up with a double-sided document. I'm just going to take that off. There we go. So now we've only got one page. A5 is the size we want, and as I said, it's A5 or A4. And then we're going to use a particular preference might be to go with a premium paper, so it's slightly thicker than normal paper. And because there's photographic images, I would recommend either a coated or a gloss finish to enhance those images once they're printed. Now they give you an option for how many to print. Obviously the less they are, the more expensive it is, so that might be your one flyer that you want just for test purposes if you're going to do that. And if not, as you scroll through, you've got up to 1,000 flyers for this price here, so you can see that the price does vary from top to bottom. So let's just pretend, for argument's sake, I'm having 10. I mean, obviously I'll probably print 100 at least, but let's just say, and for the sake of argument's sake, and I'm just going to click continue because it goes through to a proofing section. And here it says no issues detected, looks good, and that's because we have no text in the print area and no images that they suspect are fundamental to the design in terms of them being cut away. So that all looks good. What you would do then is you can download their PDF, for it's like a proof print. and then once you're happy with that, you can check out, and obviously you'd follow their processes there. Obviously you can learn more about from them, what to expect from them. This is not sponsored by them in any way. I'm just showing you the options that are available for you to choose from, and whichever works for you best, really. So I'm going to exit out of that now, and leave it there with this for today, for this video. And in the next video I'll show you how to export your image just as a PNG file, so that you can use it as it would appear in its finished form. Once the crop marks and the bleed have all been cut away by a printer, you'll have an ideal finished image, and that image is what we'll have through the PNG. So I'll show you that, and you can use that in digital format. So for example, you might want to share your leaflet online in its finished form, and you might want to do that on your social media or on your website, and you may even want to add it to another design to promote it and things like that. So I'm going to show you that in the next video, and a couple of more tips for working at a slightly more advanced level with Canva. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've enjoyed the previous ones and found them useful, and I hope they will get you started in Canva. Thanks for watching.